afternoon. My name's Penny. This is the second in my inspiration series. So I need a little bit of inspiration today, and if you do too, just tune in for the video. So I'm going to pull a card from this deck today. It's called Luminous Humanness, and you can see the beautiful picture on the front. Okay, let me shuffle and we'll see what we get today. Okay. Here is the card for today, and it's called Narrow of Your Marrow. Let's see what the book says, because I have no idea what that means. Okay, authenticity is a collection of choices that we have to make every day. It's about the choice to show up and be real, the choice to be honest, the choice to let our true selves be seen. That's a quote from Brené Brown. It's easy to be pulled in a million directions by well-meaning friends, family members, work associates, and society. However, what they think and say is none of your business. You're only responsible for the thoughts you think, the words you speak, and the actions you take. At the center of you is the most loving, creative, unique, pure, and precious soul. The narrow of your marrow, the place within where the cosmos dances. The stars align and your unique authenticity reigns supreme. If you act from this place of pure authenticity, the world might think you're off your rocker, and maybe you are, but that's not a bad thing. Some of the people who have contributed most heartily to this world were the ones to whom society turned up their noses. Your business is to live your most true to you life you can with the resources available to you. Truly living your luminous expression requires boundaries to allow the road to narrow and the vista to broaden. Mantra: the more I live from the narrow of my marrow, the more impact I make, the more soulful I become. So this is definitely something I've been thinking about lately, so that's a fortuitous choice here. So I like that last bit that I read there. So truly living your luminous expression requires boundaries to allow the road to narrow and the vista to broaden. So when we become our most authentic self and the expression of our most authentic self in the way we live our life in every day, we start to tread a narrower path. And this might sound like it's not a good thing, but I actually think it really is, because we start to pare away the aspects of our life that aren't valuable to us and they aren't so well aligned with the path that we want to tread. So our values, our purposes, our joys and passions and loves. So here it's saying as the path begins to narrow, so as we pare away everything that's not serving our purpose in life, then the vista begins to broaden. So we actually see a broader perspective on our life and the way forward. So that's a very interesting way to say it, I think. And it doesn't sound like that would be true, but I think that is. So once we, I guess, tune out all the noise of life that's happening around us, so other people's expectations and viewpoints, of course we should listen to people's viewpoints. However, we need to stay true to our authenticity and our values and the things that we understand as true for us. So I think definitely, I mean, I consider other people's thoughts, I listen to other people. However, I then reflect and decide whether that's true for me or resonant for me. So it's an ongoing process of sorting through the information that comes in from other people, but just from everywhere, from things I observe and witness, and it's deciding which I'm going to take as part of my internal system and which I'm going to just leave for others to keep as part of theirs. So it's not up to us to control or influence others in a great way. It's our job to stay on our path, stay in our lane, and allow others to learn their lessons and choose their viewpoints and their values as they go forward. So for me, is the more that I do this, the more that I keep coming home to myself in that way, the more clear I become about what I want in life and where I want to go and what I want to give out and share with others, and the activities and the pursuits that I want to focus on. So I found it in the past a bit difficult to focus. I have a lot of interests and passions, and it was hard always to narrow those down and know what I wanted to focus on. So sometimes we also go off on a lot of tangents. I call them little detours. And I felt that in trying to find my way, I was going off on a lot of little detours and spending a lot of energy following those detours. And it occurred to me a few years ago that if these detours weren't in alignment with my long-term wishes for my life, then they were a bit of a waste of energy and just taking me away from things instead of towards them. So sometimes we need to have fill-in jobs or situations that might not be our ideal, and that's okay, that's perfectly okay. If we need to do that, we need to do that. However, I think it's good to try to streamline our lives as much as we can in the direction that we want to head. And I find the more I do that, the calmer I become, because my life becomes less complex and less scattered and filled with activity. So the activity that I engage in are more aligned and more purposeful and intentional. So I love the word intentional. I use that a lot. So to always reflect on why we're doing what we're doing, not just activity for activity's sake. Not anything for anything's sake. Everything we need to consider, whether this is aligned, whether this is purposeful, and whether it's going to bring us to the place of the person that we wish to become. So there is no right or wrong answer as far as life goes. This is an individual choice and path, but it's tuning in and feeling what we're called to do, what we feel our path is and our purposes are. And if the information coming in or the opportunities coming in are not aligned with that, then we can let them go if we can, and just continue to bring our focus back to our own path. So that's my inspiration for today, and I will talk to you next time.